Well, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, Bob.
Okay, great. Thank you. The participation is good. It does make it well. So how's everyone doing? We set to go? What time is it? 11:01. All right, we're gonna give you just a couple minutes. We're gonna round up a few folks. Southern Indiana, Louisville, Cincinnati. Let's start rounding up all your folks, getting everybody in a seat. Make sure we got our audio and video and all that business going. There we go. Ah, look, I can see. Look at Southern Indiana. Can you guys hear me? Anybody want to give me a thumbs up? Awesome.
Madison. You want me to go on that?
They get a plate. How are you, Peter? We'll get going here in just 1 second.
I'm great. Thanks, Bo.
Good deal. Yeah, there we go. You should be on everywhere.
I see me in Commonwealth, not at
Yep.
Seven Hills.
Yep. That should Can I get a wave from the folks in Louisville? Can I get a little wave, a little hand? Can you hear? Are we hearing okay? Ah, there it is. Okay, well done. Southern Indiana, can I get a little, can somebody wave their hands and make sure we can hear us? Hear me. Ah, very nice. Well done. Seven Hills. Oh, MC. All right. Well done. Well done. All right, everybody. So I just want to take a minute and welcome everybody to our Four Market Center Bold Team meeting today. We've got some special guests that are going to be joining us. We're going to be talking a little bit about Bold, and guys, we're about 3 weeks out. So I'm going to turn it over to Peter Chabris. Peter,
Yes, sir.
take it away, my man, and we'll get started.
Okay, awesome. Well, listen, thank you everybody for showing up. And I love the purple tables in Southern Indiana. That's what's up. They get the gold star for the Bold Mojo. Okay, so let's just call this what it is, if that's cool with you guys. Let's kind of cut the crap and talk a little bit about what's going on in the market. We in the Midwest have been, in some ways, very lucky over the last 18 months in how our market has responded to economic changes in this country. I was looking at data for Cincinnati, and I can assume that all of us are experiencing pretty similar markets. We've seen new listings come up 5% year over year, which is good. We haven't had enough inventory, and yet we've seen inventory increase 15%. So said another way, listings are sitting on the market a little bit longer. Now, it's still absolutely a seller's market, right? But what I find really interesting is listings are up a little bit. New listings are up a little bit. Total inventory is up 3 times as much as the new listings, and sales are flat year over year for the first time in a long time. So I think what we see here is the beginning of a shift in the market. And, that probably triggered in December of 2022 when we first started seeing 2023 when we first started seeing interest rates push a little bit. Because we're in the Midwest and our lives are simple, we see changes in the market slower than they do on the coast. Now, on the coast, real estate is a much more, on the coast, the East Coast, West Coast, and down in Texas, real estate is much more of a sensitive, volatile game because the prices are higher, the stakes are higher, and interest rate swings matter more. And so we can always look to the coasts to get a sense of what's going to happen in our market about 18 to 24 months later. And about 12 months ago, guys, we started seeing a real shift in the markets on the coasts. And when I say that, that's a nice way of saying sales dropped, prices dropped, the realtors went hungry. And so We're lucky because we're insulated from those extremities here in the Midwest, but the reality is that we are going into a shifting market and we're starting to see the data reflect a lot of mixed signals in this country, right? We have some volatility in interest rates potentially coming down, which would be lovely. And yet we also have a lot of mixed signals from increase in tariffs and frankly, a rising unemployment, especially with first-time buyers, and an economy that's sending mixed signals. Is it or healthy or isn't it? We don't know, and nobody knows, frankly, which is why the Fed continues to do nothing. Now, I know I'm using a lot of jargon here. Here's my point. The data and the economic news are funky. And when you're in a funky market, that typically means you're in the front end of a market transition, right? I've seen a couple of these cycles now, having been licensed for 23 years, and we are definitely in the beginning of some kind of transition. And when the market is in transition and you don't know where it's going to go, the only thing that you can rely on is how you show up in it. What I mean is we cannot control what happens in federal policy. We can't control what happens in the economy, but what we can control are two things. We can control how we think and we control how we behave. And so our ability to manage and invest in and protect our mindset and to take the right actions that complement the right mindset is how we make our own market. In sideways markets, more than ever, how you show up and how you create and grow your business in a sideways market depends on your mindset and it depends on your activities. So our mindset at the Chabris Group is we are making our own market. And that's our mindset. Now, mindset is crap if it doesn't also have some behaviors associated with it, right? And the behaviors are what activities can I do that are going to make my own market? And those two things are the mindset is I'm going to make my own market while this thing figures out what, well, the market figures out what it's doing. The activities, there's two activities that we need to be focused on if we're going to make the most out of this market. The first one is we need to find the motivated. When there is uncertainty in the market, when there's uncertainty in the economy, when there is uncertainty with interest rates, only the motivated participate. And so part of our job, especially moving into, well, we're in the second half of the year, moving into the fourth quarter of the year, is finding the motivated. The second one is skilling up so that we can serve the motivated once we find them. Because in a transitional market, your skills matter more. So if we're not doing the activities to find them motivated and we don't have the skills to serve them once we find them, we're going to be victims of a horizontal market. And the reason why I think Onward Bold is so special is because it addresses those two things. Number one, it gets your mindset straight and focused in kind of a janky market and really kind of a janky time in our country. And the second thing it does is it gives you the right skills to find the motivated and to serve the motivated in wacky economies. So I've taken Bold, I don't know, maybe a dozen times. I've taken Onward Bold. I find that it's the perfect solution for an industry and an economy that's kind of moving sideways and isn't really clear what it's about right now. And so I'm excited to hear more about from our speaker, our Bold speaker. Bo, is our Bold speaker ready here? Somebody's coming.
And then Marcus is coming in. Is that right?
You're muted.
No, I can hear Bo.
Hey, Marcus is coming a little bit later. We have a panel after this and an activity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how many people here have taken Onward Bold? Can I get a Bold? Can I get a show of hands? Woo! That's not a lot. All right. So can I get a show of hands? People that have your hands up, go ahead and keep your hands up. If you took Onward Bold, okay. How did your business maintain or grow after Onward Bold? Keep your hand up if that was the case. Okay. So it looks as though there is, I can't see everybody, but it looks over 50% of the people that were in Onward Bold saw a growth in their business. And the cool thing about it, for those that haven't taken it, is it's not just about like um, grinding on the phone anymore, right, Bo? Now it's more about fostering relationships. And fostering those relationships happens in different platforms for different generations and for different people, right? For some of us, it's going to be social media lead generation. For others, it's going to be face-to-face breaking bread. And then there are others that are going to find their relationship building opportunities in things like open houses and door knocking. And so one of the things I love about Onward Bold is it gets real about the fact that lead generation strategies have changed, and yet the nature and the currency of this industry has not. And the currency of this industry has always been relationships and trust. And I think Onward Bold is a return to the power of people and the power of trust. And how do you go about accelerating the number of people that you can build deeper levels of trust with? And I think that's the real difference between Onward Bold and previous iterations of the Bold program. Bo, you're a Bold coach. What are your thoughts on that? Oh, sorry, you're on mute. I should have given you
There
the
you
heads up.
Okay. When you look at Onward Bold, you're exactly right, Peter. And what you're seeing there is Gary having his fingerprints on it, right?
That's right.
Onward Bold was written by Gary Keller, and it was basically comes from all the time he spends with the top 200 agents in our industry. There are lots of ways to lead generate. Social media is a really big deal. We get really deep on that and go granular on it in Bold because every real estate agent has a Facebook account, and yet not every real estate agent monetizes Facebook. Everyone uses it. Everyone puts it out there. Everyone shoots video. Not everyone, but a lot of people shoot videos. The question is, are we optimizing that tool? Do we truly understand how to take that tool? So we've got some things that we pull into the activities that are going to help them do that. You know, I love what you said, Peter, about the return to relationships, and yet the currency is always going to be finding the motivated people, and we find them, but with the activities that we do.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I think a lot of times there was a lot of focus on kind of what we used to call contactitis, right? Where you just wanted to grind through as many conversations as possible. And one of the things I love about Onward Bold is that it really is kind of like, well, let's slow down a little bit and be intentional about each conversation, about each opportunity to build a relationship and to earn somebody's trust. And that dynamic has changed, right? The market has changed a lot since the first Bold came out in, I think, 2008. And there's a lot more attention to authenticity in relationships than there was in the past. And I think that's appropriate in how our culture has kind of changed since social media. And the funny thing about social media, Bo, if I can just vamp for a second here, is that
Sure.
social media is kind of like the most inauthentic form of relationship building. And yet it's the most scalable form of relationship building in the 21st century. And so I think the great value of social media is that people can experience you from afar. And it's the great precursor to a genuine human relationship. And as long as the way I think about social media is, here's how people can experience Peter without actually taking the risk of talking to me. And if I curate that experience and I complement it with a genuine human connection when I do talk to that person, I think that's where the real power is in social media. And Bold Onward goes deep on that concept.
Well, here's what we know for sure. Our ability to reach a lot of people, talk to people, and start to build and nurture relationships at some level, we do that online, right? The Facebook community is just so vast right now, and every one of us has a community that we've built within that platform. The reality is, okay, I use that online, and yet the goal is to create a conversation and a relationship offline.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
So it definitely has a place in everyone's playbook. One of the things that we focus a great deal on in Onward Bold while talking about contacts and conversations with people on social media, whether it's phone, whether it's texting, you know, all those methods have a place in your day-to-day activities.
Yeah.
Right. It's not just banging the phone. It's not just making cold calls. Right. It's not cold calling people in prison. Right. Yeah. So thanks, Peter. You're the only one in the room that thinks I'm funny. So I really appreciate it. Yeah.
I'm easily entertained.
Yeah. And it's, and I think the one thing, and this comes directly from Gary, is we understand that the market, while it's always evolving, the ways we're going to engage our clients, build relationships, build trust, that's always going to change too. That's always in a state of flux, right? Whether they want more, whether they want less. I mean, we've made it through COVID. We've done all these things, and yet it still comes down to every single day, customer acquisition is the focus. Whether any business you're running on the planet, you have to have customers, you have to have clients in order to have a successful business.
Yeah, I think that's a thing, Bo.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is. So if that's the case, every single day, I should probably spend a portion of my day looking for people that could use my services, could use my expertise, could use my knowledge, right? Potential clients.
That's right. That's exactly right. And
Love
Bo, you know, it's funny that because a lot of people, a lot of agents, I think, kind of slow down a little bit once football season starts. You know, peak season has come and gone. We've had our run, and I think that's a real travesty because, um, you know, the year is 12 months long, and if we slow down, have you ever heard the expression that real estate is a 90-day business?
I've heard people refer to it as that. Yeah.
Yeah. So my concern
Expand
is,
on that.
what's that?
I said expand on that a little bit, the 90-day business.
Yeah, so the thing about residential real estate sales is the activities that we do or don't do today show up in our checking account 90 days from now. It's kind of an axiom, a truism in this industry that how you show up today shows up in your bank account 90 days from now. And the funny thing is, all of us are going to start doing our business planning stuff in October because 90 days from October is January 1st. Well, I think a lot of times in October, real estate agents get really optimistic and aspirational about what their earnings and what their business can look like the following year. But the problem is they're in sleepy time mode when they do their business planning. And so as a consequence, because they're kind of coasting the fourth quarter of the year, well, if they coasted October, November, December, then their January, February, March underperforms their business plan, and then they get frustrated and they give up on their aspirations. And it's not because they couldn't have achieved them, it's because they slowed down during Q4 and felt defeated in Q1. And so actually, the secret sauce in hitting your goals for the year is stepping up the activities and the commitment during the fourth quarter of the year, because there's nothing more satisfying than looking up at the end of March and going, holy shit, man, I'm on track for my goal. And the only way that happens is if you keep the pedal down during the fourth quarter.
Yeah. You're literally the best thing you can do to hit your goals for the year is to finish the previous year on a high note. And the way you finish on a high note is you load that pipeline.
Hell yeah.
And you just absolutely get as many people in that pipeline, because you're right, they're 30, 60, 90 days out. So yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Peter, always a pleasure, my man. We're going to jump in and keep rolling. I appreciate everything. I'll give you a big high five for the knowledge and everything that you impart on us. And you know, guys, if you don't know, Peter runs a really big business in Cincinnati, Ohio. And as you can see, he doesn't have 8 arms and 2 heads or anything else like that. The beauty of what Peter does with his team is roughly 40 people is they break it down into the very simple activities we've got to do every single day. I mean, I've listened to you speak many times, Peter. We appreciate the way you break it down, my man. We appreciate you taking the time and spending it with us. So thank you so much.
Let's go. Thanks, guys. Have a great
Q4. I appreciate it. All right. All right. So where everybody.
We are offline now.
Okay. Okay. So it's just us right now. Okay.
Hey, Bo, go ahead and lead the activity for everyone, please.
The activity for the index card activity. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good deal. All right. So we're going to do this for everybody. All right. So everybody should have an index card. If you have an index card, wave it above your head. Pick it up and wave it above your head. Wave it in the air. Wave it in the air like you don't really care. Some of you will get that if you were alive in the 1980s. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what I'm like. All right. So you got the index card. You need to write down on that card, at the top of the card, write down what your average commission is for real estate. One transaction, what is your average commission? Now, if you're not sure of your own average commission, I'll give you the local average commission in our market here in Lexington. It's about $8,000, right? you've probably got a market, maybe Cincinnati might be a little higher, maybe it's closer to 10. But whatever if you know what your individual number is, write it at the top. If not, let's just use $8,000 because that's what it is in our local market. Okay? Now, here's what I'd like you to do. All right. I'd like you to take that average commission. This is going to be math. Average commission, and I'd like you to multiply that times the number 8.
I only know how to do 30%.
So if your average commission was 8,000 and you multiplied it times 8, your number would be $64,000. Everybody with me? Say yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. All right. Now, skip a couple lines. And here, now I'm going to write something out. Here's what I'd like you to write. If we wrote you a check today for whatever that number is,
I'll take.
whatever number you wrote, what would you do with that money? What would you do with that money? If your number was 8,000 and 8 transactions, $64,000, what would you do with that money today if I hand you a check for it? Write it down. Just a sentence of what would you do with that number if we handed you a check for it right now? What would you do with the money? Everybody got that?
Yes, sir.
Looks like everybody's got it. Okay, now here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to take your index card and turn it over. We're going to write on the back. Now, here's what you're going to write on the back. I want you to write the names of all the people that would be impacted by that amount of money landing in your bank account today. Who would benefit? Who would that make an impact on? The people in your life. Now, if you jotted down those names, I'd like you to write down exactly what would it be like for those people. You wrote that down. What is that money going to do for them? How would it make you feel to be able to do those things for those people? How would you feel impacting the lives of those people you wrote down? So I'm going to ask the other team leaders in your room to ask this question of the room. Would love to hear from a couple people. And you guys can do it in your room if you want to go on mute or whatever. We're going to do it in here. I'd love to hear from a couple people. What did you write down? What were the names you wrote down, and how would that income impact those people, and how do you feel? Anybody like to share what they jotted down? Who wants to bring value to this room? Yes, ma'am.
I would pay off debt.
Pay off debt.
That
Okay.
my heirs, my children, grandchildren would be that would for them paying it off.
That's awesome. So you pay off the debt that you have, and the impact of the other people in your family is they don't have to worry about that in the event something happened to you. I know you share, you're gonna live to be 120. That's a good thing. Right? I appreciate that.
Yes, okay.
Yes, sir. John Bentley.
I'll be
Invest in real estate.
Invested in real estate. Flip, rental, what are you thinking there? Long-term, short-term? Long-term rental? Okay. And how's that show up for you and your wife?
Good. If I get to take a trip, get to relax a little bit, I'll be worried about money.
Not be worried about money, that's a big one, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, a lot of people are in that.
I like that. I like that. So a lot of people, Donna, go ahead, you had your hand up.
I was just gonna say, my first thought was, I would love to take my children, my children on trip. A really big, nice trip, and then I'd like to surprise them by giving each of them a
So again,
gift.
so take everyone on a big trip and then give them a gift. Yeah. You know, how many of us in the room wrote down what we would do for other people, and sometimes it's hard to think about doing something for ourselves. Yeah. It's interesting. I've asked that question of people, what would you do for yourself? And they're stumped, and we just stare at it. And then all of a sudden you bring in these other people in your world, and the next thing you know, the words just start coming, don't they? Yeah, that's powerful stuff. Well, guys, here's what I'm going to tell you. Today you have an opportunity to go after that number. You don't have to sit and wait for someone to hand you a check for that amount. You've got an opportunity to take the steps that are going to put you there. You guys know I'm a bold coach. I've traveled all over the nation teaching bold. I've been in a lot of different rooms in the north and the south, been in roomfuls of mega agents, roomfuls of brand new folks, everything in between. And here's what I'm going to tell you. You have an opportunity that's right in front of you to make everything that you wrote on that card come to pass, come to be. I know this because we started launching Bold in 2007, and from 2007 through today, the average attendee in Bold puts 11 new pieces of business together. You wrote those numbers on 8. Some of you could calculate the numbers on half of 11 and write down 6 or 5. The reality is this, it's exactly what Peter told us. It's the actions. The actions we take put us in position to get the results that we desire. If you desire to have the things happen that you wrote down on that card, if what's important on that card is important to you, if the people that are important to you that you wrote down and you took the time, your first step is to make sure that you're in Bold. I don't sell Bold, and I'm a great salesperson. But here's what I know. When you do the activities, you get the results that you desire. You got an opportunity right now to absolutely galvanize 2006, and it happens by the fourth quarter of 2005. There is no other way. We have to load the wagon, team. We've got to load the wagon, and we've got to get in relationship with a lot of people. So take that information, keep it close. There's going to be a couple opportunities today that you're going to have to sign up for Full Bold, to sign up for First Step to Bold. You've got registration forms in front of you. If you've got any questions, let us know. All the staff is ready in all the market centers. So next up is our Bold panels. We've got some folks that have been in Bold. You don't want to hear it from me. You want to hear it from some folks firsthand. We're going to go to our Bold panel section. Jackie, is this where we mute again? Okay. What's that? Oh, quiet time. All right. So if you volunteer.
unmuted now.
Am I unmuted? Okay, fantastic. So guys, are we all set? Okay, so I am, I'm super excited to introduce our bowl coach, Marcus Heflin. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. We have some phenomenal bowl coaches. We have some incredible people that, basically spend a tremendous amount of time on the road, flying through airports, getting in cars, doing all this stuff to deliver this across the nation. We've got about, I think at last count, we have somewhere around 160 something thousand agents with our company. There's somewhere around about 50 of them that are bowl coaches. And they make it their passion every single year to go out and ensure that they deliver bowl all across the nation and make sure every agent in our company gets an opportunity to be a part of it. Marcus been in real estate for about 17 years. Sold as many as 72 homes in a year. That was as an individual agent. Heflin team in Nashville now runs. Gold coach 4 years and, property investor. He works with several real estate market centers in his area. Fantastic energy. It's been an absolute pleasure to get to know Marcus as a fellow bold coach. I can tell you this. We all know that we have some incredibly skilled people out there in this world. I'm going to tell you, Marcus's heart and the fact that he cares about the agents and the people in this world is the thing that I believe sets him a couple rungs above everybody else out there. But it's my pleasure to announce Marcus as our coach, and couldn't be more excited. Marcus, are you there, my man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Am I coming
All
through
right.
okay, brother?
Yes, sir. We're feeling good. Buddy, I'm going to turn it over to you. And we just appreciate you taking the time. And, you got those babies, right? You got all that stuff going on too, right? Yeah. The world keeps going, doesn't it, brother?
It does, man. It seems to keep on moving. Yeah, it's funny that it works like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll let you take it away, sir. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Hello, everyone. I am so honored to be here. Bo, thank you so much for that introduction. It means the world to me. I didn't realize that I was wearing the same suit that my photo was in. So that was just solid. That's completely planned and systematic. Yeah. Guys.
One suit too. It's okay. I got one suit too, Marcus. It's
Thank you. Thank you for understanding, Bo. And guys, I want to kind of give you an update. Some of the things that you heard there are 100% accurate, and yet they're a little bit old. I love this company, and I love the opportunities that we get within this company. What you see there on the screen and the resume is great, and we've grown. And through the bold journey and through this growth in general, I've been able to partner up, and we now have an expansion team in 3 different cities. We're going to have in 6 by the end of the year. And I got the opportunity through this bold program and through just networking in general with top minds to go to my wife. And we had just remodeled our home in Nashville, her dream home at the time. And I said, hey, you like this? We should move to Connecticut. And we did. And big props to her. My number one job and role in this world is first husband, second father. And then I get to be an agent at Keller Williams and be a coach. So she blessed me with a yes on that, and we have been in Connecticut, going vertical with joint ventures with 5 market centers that we've got up here. So I say all that to kind of give you the lay of the land as far as my career, and yet I'm going to tell you that a resume means nothing, because today is requesting my best. And if I only relied on the resume of what I've done in order to impress, then y'all should all just leave immediately. And when it comes to today, success is rented and rents due every day. And that makes me wake up with vigor, with that desire to grow, with that desire to be open-minded on different tactics. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today as we go through. Anybody ever been in a car and you're riding with somebody, right? Or potentially you're riding by yourself and you got GPS on it and you miss something because you were distracted? Give me a hand raise, give me a yes, give me a never happened to me. I'm an amazing driver. Love that. Front row. I like it. I see the hair. Looks great today. And sometimes it's because we're focused on the wrong things. I have this analogy that I always talk to people about when it comes to their past and when it comes to their future and when it comes to what all that means and how it's tied together, because this thing is very powerful if we know how to use it. Are you focused more on the rear view, aka a resume, aka past successes, or past failures, or are you focused on the windshield, where you're going? And better yet, do you have the GPS locked in to know where you're going? Or are we driving aimlessly right now? I see this a lot throughout my travels and throughout my career. A lot of people are desiring a 10-year career, which means, year one, we start here. And I was blessed to join a team within Keller Williams. In the first year, I sold 72 homes. And after that, I started my own team. And then we went up to 85 and then 93 and then 110 and so on and so on. And in a market where a lot of people are saying it's tough, it's hard, it's not possible, we're expanding into 3 cities because we see this as the best opportunity to grow and gain market share. And man, I am so excited for that opportunity. And when I think about that, and when I think about the future there, that requires me to not look in the rear view and only look in the windshield. Because if I spend too much time looking about what could have, should have, would have been, I can't take grasp of exactly what's in front of me and the opportunity that lies there ready to be picked up. So when I think about that, I also then take that analogy and I think, what did I miss? What did I miss? And then I think about the index card that you guys just worked on and the number that's on that paper and the people that are on that paper. I've got a visual, I've got a little thing that I want you to write down if you don't mind. It's take a lowercase b, multiply that times another lowercase b, and then put an equal sign to a large case b. Now for those that work better with visual aids, I've just dominated it. I worked on this diligently. So just do this on your paper for just a moment, because I promise you we're leading somewhere fun. B times B equals B. B times B equals B. When we think about what you wrote on that paper, you had an inner dialogue once you did the math. 10 deals times whatever your commission is, right? Maybe it's 11, maybe y'all did 12 or 13, right? I'm blessed that I've been in some powerful rooms with some people and agents that showed up and they actually did the work. They didn't just talk the work. And we have an average per bold graduating class that's a little bit higher than the national average. And I don't put any of that on me. It's all the agents because they're the ones doing the work. And yet it starts with what's between our ears and maybe what's on our calendar. So let's have a little fun with this. B times B equals B. The first B is going to stand for beliefs. Write that down for me, please. Beliefs. Your beliefs. When you wrote a number down on your index card and you saw 80,000, 100,000, 120,000, whatever that number is, what was your first reaction? Did you believe you could earn that between now and the end of the year? Because we're not waiting longer than that. My goodness, the time is now. Did you believe that you're worthy of that? Did you believe that you're the type of agent who can actually succeed at that? If not, surpass it. Some of y'all are like, I've already got this in backlog. And if that is the case, I want you to take that number and double it. I want you to get a little uncomfortable with that number, because we're going to be battling beliefs. Beliefs have led you to certain arenas in your life, whether you're really happy about them or maybe you got a little trepidation with them. If we were to open up your bank account today, that's a result of some of your beliefs and behaviors, which is by default our second B, behaviors, because our beliefs coincide with how we show up. Our beliefs tell us how we should act over and over and over, our behavior system. If we looked at your bank account, that would show up there. If we looked at your health, that would show us your belief and your behaviors. If we looked at your network, your key relationships, and I could go on in every phase of life, it all starts with your beliefs and your behaviors. Now let's take inventory for just a moment. If B times B equals big B, what's the big B? I want you to write down the word becoming. Becoming. Beliefs times behaviors equal who you are becoming. How have your beliefs and behaviors shown up for you so far? Are they working for you or against you? And when I say working for or against you, I'm not talking about you today. I'm talking about you 5 years from now. And if you got some kiddos, I want you to think real quick, and I want you to just doodle with me for a moment. I want you to think about the kiddos. How old are they going to be in 5 years? What would be important for you to bring to the table to your kids, your important people in your life, your spouse, your family, friends, philanthropy, anything? What would be important to have in 5 years or to be able to offer in 5 years? That's how we should be forecasting and looking through this windshield as we go down our behaviors, our beliefs, and who we choose to become moving forward. I had a I had this thing in my head, and it's all about taking life and turning it into chapters. Y'all ever been reading a book, and it's a good book. Like you would tell somebody, hey, read that book. Watch out for chapter 6, because oh my gosh, I fell asleep 4 times. It took me 3 weeks to get through it, where every other chapter took me 2 in total. And yet, chapter 6 was a doozy. Right? It was over my head. It was boring. It was whatever. Chapters. Some of y'all are going through a chapter of life right now that is a doozy. Some of y'all are in the chapter and it's like, oh my goodness, I can't be stopped. Let's go. And you got some momentum. And yet, no matter the chapter, that's not the whole book. What's the next page going to say? Some of us are lingering in that bad chapter and just refusing to turn the page because our belief system says we got to stay here for some reason. I'm going to invite you to take this next story and kind of me being a little bit vulnerable with you guys into your own world, into your own mindset. There have been 2 moments that have happened to me in my life when it comes to personal growth and kind of a next step. And one was when I was 22. I had a landscaping company to put myself through college. I had a year left of college. And I came home and I told my mom, I'm like, I'm too good for college. Not in so many words. I had an ego, my gosh. And I said, I'm too good for college. I'm going to do this landscaping thing. And I'm, it's so funny. It's popped up so many times in my life. I make plans and God laughs a little bit, right? I go on a skiing trip over winter break because obviously I stopped college mid-semester. And my buddy Mike had been a really great skier for quite some time. He was taking me down bunny hills my first time, right? And doing this whole thing. I'm like, oh man, I got this. Cool. And then we go down and we do a little jump. Guys, when I say a jump, think of a speed bump. All right. I don't even want to think, I don't even want to give me credit of a jump. A speed bump in the snow. Your boy goes up, feet go straight up. Nothing else did, just feet. And I land on my back, stress fracture in my spine. It was fascinating. I'm seated or at least laying down for the next 4 weeks. I can't even work landscape. I can't even work a part-time job, much less landscaping. By the way, if you're going to quit and do landscaping full time, don't do it in the dead of winter. I was super smart. And I found myself, because I was very prideful. I didn't come from much whatsoever, and I refused to ask for money from my mom. So I started selling my stuff to kind of pay for things. And then I got to the point where I got back to work, working at Abercrombie and Fitch, super career. And I had to go to McDonald's to eat. And I couldn't order anything except a double cheeseburger with a water because I didn't have any money. And I will never forget it because it was $1.09 at the time. It's probably $83 now. And yet it was $1.09 at the time. And I had this moment where I said, never again. I've made bad decisions. I've been prideful. I've been ego driven. Never again. And I shadow boxed $1.09 and it still hangs up in my office today as a reminder. From there, I got financially responsible. From there, I got focused on the big things that would make the best impact in my life. And it transformed the way I finished college, the way I started my career, and the way I got into momentum when it came to building our empire and legacy. The second moment, unfortunately, was after a divorce, very early in my 20s. Was not ready for it, and yet that's no excuse. And I'm sitting there, and I found myself about 55 pounds overweight, pretty depressed and coping with that. And after a really rough time, I found myself in the gym the next morning. It was around 7:30 a.m. And I was on the treadmill. Some of y'all might know that as the treadmill. I am very cardio averse, you may learn. So if any of my runners are out there, mad respect to you. I just don't know what you're running from. Anyway, I found myself on the treadmill, and I was sitting there and I was taking inventory. What's life look like? What is going on? Why am I unhappy? What have I done? What's my DNA here? And I figured out I just wasn't disciplined as I needed to be. So then I chose to take drastic action, to adjust. And I made a commitment to do a physique show or a muscle show. I'm not a huge guy, especially up next to those guys. And yet I did 3 shows in the next year. I got down to 4% body fat. I took home second, third, and third. What that did during that time frame was it created discipline internally. And that discipline, how you are in one arena of your life is how you're showing up in others. That discipline carried over to my business. That discipline showed up to where I got invited to train and try out to become a bowl coach, which transformed my life to the opportunity I have now to bring my family here and to build out verticals in different business industries. And we've gone vertical with 4 in 8 months right now, and we've got 7 more that we're attacking in the next 18 months. Guys, these moments when you have this epiphany and you get to decide, am I going to stay the same version of me, or am I going to shift and go down this road? I know I deserve it. I know I can achieve it. And better yet, take a look at your index card real quick. What name did you write down? Who's important? Who is looking at you to grow? Because some of those beliefs and behaviors, they were developed from somebody in your life as you were coming up. Maybe they're being developed right now with the people that you're surrounding yourself with. What I'm inviting you to do is jump into an environment of growth, of open-minded, of new tactics, of actual work. Let's get into this workshop. It's not a lecture. We're going to make some money every single day. And in fact, we're going to make some money in the morning. We're going to make some money in the afternoon. You're going to get 2 chances every single day, if not more. I'm asking this. If you feel like this is your moment to make that change in any arena of your life, come hang out with us in Bold. Commit to it today, because if you don't commit today, you're going to make every excuse. That behavior in those inner dialogue is going to pop up. It's going to talk you out of it. It's going to say, oh, it's not this, that, or the other. Oh, you don't need that. Or you're having a good year. You don't need to improve. Guys, I've had agents who haven't sold a house ever in their life. I've had the Danny Blaine team who sold 2,700 homes, and they had a whole team there. I've coached everybody in between. And I can tell you this, I've never had somebody step into the arena of the Bold Room and step out without growth, without momentum, and without an energy that is infectious and attracts more people their way. So I invite you, join us for Bold. And if you're feeling compelled today, write your name down right here, right now, and let's get signed up. I am absolutely honored. I am stoked to be coming to hang out with you guys. Bo is the man. Tara is awesome. And I get to hang out with all the other leaders and you very soon. I'm fully accessible. My cell phone's everywhere. And if it's not, Bo can give it to you. Reach out to me if you have questions, but I cannot wait to see you guys in the room. Bo, anything else you need from me, sir?
No, sir. Guys, give Marcus a hand. Marcus, we so appreciate it, buddy. We can't wait to see you, and we're going to do everything we can to absolutely fill that room for you. Thank you, sir.
Let's go. See y'all soon.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, guys, so I think we're wrapping up.
Yeah, take a cup and give 2 weeks.
We have some, is everyone, yeah, here's your schedule in the room. Pull out your phone, take a quick picture of that. You've also got your QR code to register for free First Step. Guys, First Step is free. It's completely free. We're going to cater it. It's going to have lunch there. It's going to be an incredible day. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. You'll absolutely have a fantastic time, a good reset, and you'll walk out of there with business. We will generate business in that room. What's next?
This is full bowl.
That's Full Bold. If you go ahead and register for Full Bold, if you know you're coming, there's your QR codes for each of the locations. And Marcus will be at each location. You feel free to go ahead and register there.
This is where we're gonna be doing a food.
Yeah. So each room has, you guys have, anyone that registers for Full Bold is going to be able to get into the, you've got, I think Southern Indiana, they've got some silver stars on the wall. I think Cincinnati's got some things you can grab. We've the same here in Lexington. We've got an opportunity. So when you register for Full Bold, you have a registration form on your chair. Go ahead and register. We'd like to make that move, and we'll get you into the drawing. What's that? Yeah, gonna go to individual offices. You guys can take that. Hey, everybody in the room, at the bare minimum, register for First Step. We'd love to have you there. So we'll turn it over to the team leaders and the folks on site.